everybody doing? I'm in Williams, Arizona right now with the Loves. And be running. I'll be running from here to Gallup, New Mexico with this stream. I'm up to 1,303 subscribers. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to be meeting up with Cody Shehorn at the Maverick in Holbrook on the way over, because he is on his way this direction over. He's actually on his way to Phoenix. He won't be coming through Williams, but he and I will be crossing paths, and we're both going to stop for fuel in Holbrook around the same time. Okay, Williams, Arizona to Gallup, New Mexico. Ouch. Make this public. And no, not made for kids. Alright, looks like we're good to go. Alright, still got about 6 minutes to go on my 30 before I can go. So hang out here and wait for a little bit. Alright, so that's done. Okay, I'd normally want to run further. I still have 5:13 to go on my clock. 313 mile range, and I'm about 200, so yeah, I could get to Casablanca, New Mexico, and then maybe even further on what clock I have to work with. But I have a drive tower I need to get replaced, so I'm gonna stop short at the Loves in no, not the Loves, but the TA in Gallup, so I can get that tire replaced. Alright, so my dash cam cord, I guess I'll wait for people to come online. There's nobody on yet, so I'll talk about that in a few. Found this little guy in the truck. A friend of mine found what looks like a jumping spider in this truck. Oh, yeah, that's a jumping spider. I always liked having I would mess with jumping spiders when I was a kid. That was just fascinated me because they actually jump on their prey. I mean, I don't know they spin webs, but I usually would see them like on the walls, whatever, in my house, and they would jump around from one spot to another. They don't jump very far, but they jump, and pretty quick. They're completely harmless. I've never been bit by one. Why must the dating process be so hard? I really hate learning new people. That's why I always stick with what I got, which is a bad habit. I hate feeling like I want to choke somebody out every day. Latina problems. It's only hard if you make it hard. So the problem there, I think, with her, she's got kids to support, and it's common for women to look for a guy who can help them with their family. Take care of their security and family needs. And the problem is, a lot of guys, including myself, are not interested in being your security blanket. If I'm going to be with you, it's because I actually enjoy spending my time with you, and I'm not with you because I'm there to be your sugar daddy or fulfill your need for support. And that's the problem I think a lot of women have, is they're looking too much for someone to help them with their family situation or money situation, whatever. And they don't just take charge of that themselves and look for a guy just because, hey, this guy has the same values, this guy has the same interests and, like lifestyle habits and stuff that are in line with mine. Oh, this guy is Kennesaw. I think Kennesaw might be. What's going on here? I can see Kennesaw here. The way he's angled, it makes me think. I can't tell if he's either tried to set up to back into this spot right here next to me, or if he was going to try to go around Stevens. But there's a truck over there next to the tire shop that he was not going to make it around Stevens. So I don't know what the story is there. Anyway, yeah, I mean, there are guys out there, I'm sure, who don't mind being a sugar daddy or whatever, be interested in supporting someone in their family, but I mean, just from my own perspective, I'm not that kind of guy. Like Dora and I got together, I knew she had kids. I have kids, but I didn't get... What are you doing, Stevens? And Stevens might hop the curb here. Yeah, he's going to hit the curb. He's going to have to back up. Yeah, I see he's backing up now. Still going to hit the curb. See? Hey, James, how you doing? Alright, I got my clock back, so... Alright, how you doing, Jim? Hello, other two lurkers, whoever you are. Yeah, so, yeah, this is somebody I know. I don't really want to tell how I know them. They're saying, why must the dating process be so hard? I really hate learning new people. That's why I always stick with what I got, which is a bad habit. I hate feeling like I want to choke somebody out every day. Okay. Oh, well, I'm starting to end the truck up. To me, that's kind of a sign that you have the wrong expectations.
You have 5 hours and 13 minutes of remaining drive time.
And and if you're a woman in a similar situation, you might be picking a guy for the wrong reasons, if that's what's going on. Kind of problems that I had that I did with my ex-wife. Not saying she's a bad person, we were just not really compatible enough ultimately. And hey, what's up, Mish? Alright, we get rolling here. Anyway, yeah, I don't know the story there. I'm reading between the lines on the post there. Gave me them, like a lot of other, expecting the guy to be more interested in being like not necessarily a sugar daddy, but someone who can help make her own life less stressful with raising kids. Be like a teammate, but that's the problem. You should look first at doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. If you ask me, find somebody who's actually got similar lifestyle habits as yours, and interests and values and all that. Sometimes you never know. It might be somebody who doesn't look like the kind of person you would normally expect you would normally want to be hooking up with. Certain, there are some people that meet stereotypes, but then there are plenty of people even who might be in that group you're stereotyping, but doesn't fit the stereotype. You never know. Gotta be open-minded. Want real happiness there. Duff's in Williams. I'm going to be meeting up with Cody Sheehorn at the Maverick in Holbrook. 123 miles from here. I'm going to get tractor fuel there. He's probably going to get, I think he's going to get fuel there as well. And we're actually both expected to get there around the same time, which would be roughly 2 o'clock. Might be a hair before, I don't know, we'll see how I don't think you're going to make a left out in front of me, truck. Your ass is waiting, I don't have a stop sign. I know the feeling though. I was here on that same off-ramp one time behind somebody else. There was a truck, a couple of two female team truck that had just left the floods and was trying to make this same left turn that I'm making right now, or just did make. And the truck on the off-ramp in front of me decided to make a left turn right in front of the truck that was sitting there waiting for oncoming traffic to go so they could make their own turn. I will definitely do that. I will ask Cody if he is a trucker. I'll also ask him if he's a real trucker. First half of the day went well so far. Let's see, I've done 360 miles. Probably more like 355. I would normally run all the way to Casablanca, New Mexico for this stream, but I have a drive tire I need to replace, so I'm going to stop at the TA in Gallup. Now, it will force me to take an extra 10-hour break before I get to Denton, Texas, which is where the first stop is at. But I'm still going to be there literally a day early, even with the extra 10-hour break, so I'm hoping I can get a swap or a drop. We do have a drop yard in Fort Worth, so I don't know, maybe tomorrow we'll find out that they'll give me permission to drop it in our Fort Worth yard and I can keep rolling. Albuquerque is one of those cities where a dashcam is nice to have. Okay, there's a story behind that apparently. This I gotta hear. And while I'm waiting to hear that, speaking of dash cams, my main dash cam, which I told you I got back, or I think I mentioned I got back. Well, I mean, I got a new main unit, and then I still have the same exterior unit. The unit can't power box, but then I know for sure I'm not getting any power to the unit because when I plug my phone charger into the I don't think, take a quick glance in my direction and look back in the other way. I think he was on the phone though. So I had to give him a call and give him shit about it. Hey dude, did pass by and not flip me off or something? That's what most of us do when we know each other and we're passing by each other. We'll it's a normal thing to do. We flip each other off for fun. Okay, so as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, Looks like we might have some buffering going on, so let me wait for the buffering to go away first. Starting to get a little bit of rain here too. Not much. Some sprinkles, but look like they don't look like they're really tiny droplets though. Claimed to be them, but isn't. So I hear a lot of claims that, accusations from people who are anti-BLM and, that BLM does this or that is not good. But, like I said, I know I've seen stuff go on that was purportedly caused by BLM that had nothing to do with them. So, and to me, I just stay out of that. It's not my fight. It's not my battle to fight. And I got better things to do with my time than worry about a lot of stuff that, if it doesn't involve me, I'd just rather keep my head in the sand on that issue. Okay, so let's try this again. Clueless, I don't know if you heard me. Familiar, but I don't know where you're talking about. The Dodger game is on, I think, so I'll probably end up putting them on as well in a minute. You guys know I like my Dodgers. Let's figure out what this Patrick Mahomes BLM thing is all about first. Just want to be a little bit informed. I think I'm gonna love or hate the guy regardless of what he says there. We're getting other people's perspectives on things. Oh, come on, you shithead. Alright, here we go.
Patrick Mahomes has the perfect answer for fans against BLM movement, fan cited yesterday. Patrick Mahomes passionately sent a message to anyone who isn't supportive of the Black Lives Matter movement. More than $500 million, he's the once again this campaign. He's also quite involved in the Black Lives. In speaking with the media this weekend, Mahomes delivered quite the message to anyone out there who might be against the movement. Patrick Mahomes made it clear he's going to do what's right for humanity. I'm going to do whatever I believe and whatever I believe is right, Mahomes said. I'm by police in Wisconsin and has since been left paralyzed. We saw NBA players boycott games, with other leagues and teams following suit as well. Now, Mahomes is using his platform to speak up, and he's not going to allow any kind of negative comments from haters to bring him down. Athletes are speaking up and making a difference. It should come as no surprise that Mahomes is among the large group. Substance there to just help further clarify the since you saw my AC go out.
better? My AC works great now. There's not a clear cut. But then again, I know there are plenty of cases of let's say well-to-do people in the black community still getting harassed and arrested and stuff by cops for stuff they probably should not be getting harassed and arrested. Reactive, even if they're cops from in the black community, which whatever they're. How can we fix this? You're sadly mistaken, but it's just there. That's what's a lot more frequently pointed out by the media. Actually, a lot of cops are next person on the news being a racist cop killing a black suspect. The FBI crime data proves that that more whites are killed by cops than blacks. I'm not going to say there's not a problem there. There are definitely some bad players in every bunch. Don't say everything is always a big, huge, broad continuum. Never them as much as psychology. It's not just that white cop, black suspect kind of their subject. Let's not say suspect, because some of them are legit suspect, and some of them are just people who just fit a description and are otherwise innocent. So I say when it comes like with racism in general, a lot of people want to think that either you are or you are not. No, my opinion, everybody on the planet is racist to some extent. Does that sound like, it's kind of like shades of green, or the absence of green, and 255 shades of blue, or the absence of blue. So you get a very broad variety of colors that result from whatever the combination is you're working with. And we just say that racism is just one of those layers. Everybody lies somewhere in between. Just how we're about it, or where on that continuum does the status quo lie, I guess. These are just thoughts, though. I don't know. Say racist or insensitive. At least on one occasion or another, regardless of what their background is. spring problems going on? No. What kind of temps and humidity you got there, RG? That's a pretty up there on both sides. Oh, probably not so high in the temp that I would think it's hot, but the humidity you guys get there, yeah, I bet. Degrees with 53% humidity. Okay, I actually thought the humidity would be a little higher there. 53% still pretty high for 93-degree weather. So I can imagine you probably have over 100-degree heat index then. Something over here in the trees, and I just realized it's cars here on the road that I'm getting ready to cross over. So heat index of 103. Yeah, that's pretty warm day there. Here on Butler Avenue. I have an RV camping out next to me, so I'm going to back off a little bit and get them away from me. So we're going to have a construction zone coming up. I definitely don't want them next to me. Work ahead. tell if you think I'm going to slow down at 45 in a 2-lane area where there's not even an ounce of construction equipment yet. I can see slowing down to like 55 or something like that through here, but even then, I think it's a little bit premature. Back there behind me. Butler Avenue. Let's see what kind of ziggy-zaggy fun we have over here. Messed up too. I don't think it's a compressor. I think it's something else because yeah, dude, what the hell are you driving so fast for? It's 45 zone. I'm doing 55, and this guy goes flying by me like I'm not even moving. Anyways, yeah, it's the blower doesn't work, so I'm thinking maybe a fan clutch went out or something, or a bad wiring connection. I checked the fuses. I think I remember checking the fuses, and it wasn't that. So something else going on there. South of 400 miles so far this shift. Hey Tara, how you doing? Let's catch up through this. And shoot it and get a new one. Slight bit of sprinkle back there in between Williams and Flagstaff. Not much at all. And I'd really like to end my shift over in Casablanca, New Mexico, but I have a drive tower I want to replace. And so I'm just going to shut down in Gallup. That way I get the drive tire replaced while I'm there. And then again, I can always get the tire replaced in Gallup, and if they're quick enough with it, I can go ahead and continue on. Let's get some more buffering out here.
You'll probably catch me because my chickens is pretty heavy today.
Yeah, I think we've had some bad buffering because I asked Clueless at least 3 or 4 times what the enchanting desert is, where it is, and I never got one. Never got an answer one time yet, and I think it's because of buffering. Looks like we're getting buffering again right now. Is a nice place. Now, where the hell's Enchanting Desert? Now I think Clueless is messing with me. It's crazy. I saw a JCT truck not long ago here within the last 20 minutes. 4300 truck number, which is a newer truck. Already has a letter C after it, which means it's already the 4th person to lease that truck. Either the truck in particular is a piece of shit, or they're having a lot of turnover with that truck where drivers are either quitting or getting fired for something. I've heard of the Enchanted Forest, but not Enchanted Desert or Enchanting Desert. Unless you mean Petrified Forest, which is about 100 or so miles east of here. Actually, a little bit more than 100, I think. Land of Enchantment, okay. Land of Enchantment, that's New Mexico's motto, isn't it? Mining facility. What do I see? A bunch of dust up ahead. Oh, maybe it's somebody on that dirt road over there. Yeah, probably someone on this dirt road over here on the south side of the interstate. Dust in the area of the interstate always catches my attention very quickly, because a lot of times it's because there are times when you see that and it's because somebody on the interstate went off the interstate for whatever reason. But yeah, I see the vehicle, at least part of it. There's just somebody driving on that dirt road over there. There's a lot of westbound truck traffic going on there. Indicator which way the wind is going. Evidently a south to north, or maybe a southwest to northeast kind of wind, based on the directionality of the dust that pickup picked up. Hey Cat, how you doing? Just like a black Nissan Frontier or whatever it is, driving on this dirt road next to the interstate. Just naturally kicking up dust just because they're driving on it. And then the wind was blowing it into the interstate. Just over 70 miles out now from the Maverick in Holbrook. As I mentioned, I'm going to top off my fuel tanks there, and then also Cody Sheehorn is going to be there around the same time that I'm going to be there, so I'll be meeting up with him and probably do a little bit of trash talk and nipple twisting kind of stuff, whatever. A few voice aloud things I still have queued up that I never got through yet. Let's take a look.
California is poised to take another halting step toward normalcy with Gov. Gavin Newsom expected to announce plans for reopening businesses that were shuttered in July amid soaring coronavirus cases and hospitalizations.
Yeah, he's doing well.
In anticipation of the Democratic governor's announcement Friday, there was a common refrain from businesses and local governments buffeted by the outbreak: "We need clarity." Counties need to understand clearly what thresholds to aim for in the public health data that will determine success or failure, the California State Association of Counties said in a statement. Newsom's comments will come as some health restrictions begin to ease in Alameda and Contra Costa counties on Friday. A lot of these openings include personal care businesses that usually operate mostly indoors but will now have to take business outside. In Alameda County, hair and nail salons can open outdoors only. The same goes for barbershops, skin care, waxing services, and massage parlors. Outdoor pools can open with limited capacity and reservations. Wineries can have outdoor tastings without having to serve food. Social distancing guidelines must be followed. The Darcy Kent Vineyards in Livermore will open Labor Day weekend for members and then later to the general public.
Oh,
This is a big step, definitely for us, said Amanda Tonkin. It is something we haven't been able to do or entertain since March. In Contra Costa County, gyms can operate outside. Hotels can open to the general public. Until now, hotels were for essential business only. Meanwhile, Riverside County Supervisor Karen Spiegel, who has recovered from a bout with the virus, said she hopes the state plan recognizes different levels of risk that come with different business activities. She's puzzled why shoppers can fill a Costco, where she stopped Thursday, while indoor hair salons remain off limits. Using metrics, the state needs to change how businesses are categorized, Spiegel said. We have to do more of a risk-based approach. California has the most confirmed virus cases in the nation, with nearly 700,000, and the third most deaths, 12,550. But since the closures last month, the average number of daily cases has been falling along with the infection rate and hospitalizations, which peaked at 7,170 on July 21 and since dropped to about 4,300. Most of California's 58 counties, including the most populous, Los Angeles, and most counties in the Bay Area remain on a state monitoring list because they are above one or more of the benchmarks for cases, infection rates and hospitalizations. Inclusion on the list restricts what businesses can operate, whether schools can offer classroom instruction, and limits activities, such as including San Diego and Orange, the second and third largest counties by population. San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer joined Spiegel in expressing frustration with the changing guidelines. There have been widespread complaints that even when counties hit deadlines, California's constantly shifting coronavirus lockdown rules, Faulconer tweeted. The Republican, who is seen as a potential challenger to Newsom in 2022, wrote that the county had been dropped from the monitoring list as a result of falling case numbers and other favorable metrics, but we're still waiting for answers. Back in July, as cases and hospitalizations climbed, Newsom changed course and again ordered sweeping closures, including shuttering bars and indoor restaurant dining statewide. For those on the watch list, inside religious services and indoor businesses including gyms, malls and hair and nail salons were also ordered off limits. The order was part of a state strategy to control the spread by focusing on limiting indoor activities, reflecting public health officials' understanding of how the virus spreads. Counties can open schools for classroom learning if they are off the watch list for 14 days, but it's not clear what the timeline will be for reopening businesses. It was also possible Newsom could outline reopening rules for places of worship, which have been pressuring the governor for more flexibility to open their doors. His previous shutdown order had an exemption for outdoor religious services. On another front, the governor is facing legal challenges to set aside state orders that a CT scan of his chest showed there was a linear metallic foreign object lodged in his heart, report. Heart that pumps blood to the lungs. The teen initially told the doctors he hadn't ingested any foreign objects or explications due to migration such as the one described in this case, they concluded. Fortunately, the teen recovered after his surgery and has had no complications to my knowledge, Matthews said. Originally published on Live Science.
She's actually doing a little better than 61 now.
Article 180 of 185. San Bernardino County in most restrictive tier of Newsom's new reopening guidelines. Victorville Daily Press 4 hours ago. Gov. Gavin Newsom announced new COVID-19 reopening.
Yeah, but if you guys can't handle doing something somewhat close to the speed limit for just a mile, there's something wrong with you.
Oh boy, she's slowing down again. She can't make up my mind.
This be a westbound truck. I gotta fix the chat, but there are a couple of trucks have gaining on me. I'm gonna have to wait until it's safe for a moment to do it.
That's the best I got, guys. 65. Need to go loud. Sounds like a large car. Damn, looks like you got that U-Haul a little bit overloaded. Wheels blowed out.
Basically, the price for both has gone up 140% in the last year. It's a lot. wonder how careless and inattentive someone has to be able to swallow a sewing pin and have no idea that they swallowed it. Pretty painful going through whatever body parts the guy went through to get to the heart. About 15 miles ago now to Winslow. Indoor market coming soon. Alright, when I finish getting through these articles, and then I'll probably put the Dodger game on.
Gavin Newsom announced new COVID-19 reopening guidelines for counties on Friday, which brought a switch from a state watch list to a color-coded, four-tier system based primarily on case and positivity rates. Newsom said during a press conference Friday that the new system would be simpler but slower and more stringent than the monitoring list. COVID-19 will be with us for a long time and we need to adapt, he said. About 65% of counties in California are in the most restrictive purple tier, including San Bernardino County, which means most non-essential indoor businesses will remain closed. This means these 38 counties, in which 87% of Californians live, have been reporting more than 7 daily new cases per 100,000 people and a positive testing rate greater than 8%. According to state data, San Bernardino had a daily case rate of 12.2 per 100,000 and a positivity rate of 10.2%. County data showed a positivity rate of 13.3% on Friday. A county spokesperson said this was due to a data error from the state and that the lower 10.2% was accurate. To move into the less restrictive red, orange, and yellow tiers, and reopen more businesses, a county must meet the metrics for 2 weeks. A county must also wait for 21 days before moving into the next tier. As a result, Dr. Mark Gallup, Secretary of the California Health and Human Services Agency, said counties should expect to remain in their current tier for at least 3 weeks or longer. Really today we're talking about a framework and moving forward, not about reopening, he said. Gallup stressed that the new system would be a slower process but that the waiting periods would ensure we don't have to move quickly forward only to move back sooner. In July, after an initial reopening, Newsom ordered bars closed and prohibited indoor gatherings in restaurants, museums, movie theaters and other businesses after a surge in coronavirus cases. On Friday, Gallup reported that 4,205 COVID-19 patients were hospitalized throughout the state, a number about 33% higher than in June with 3,142. Hospitalizations spiked more than a month later, reaching 7,170 on July 21. Even if counties meet the 2 criteria of case and positivity rate, Newsom said there is an emergency brake, which could stop progression forward if there is a concern about rising hospitalizations. State officials will assess data weekly to determine when counties can move within the tier system. Starting Monday, they said, counties in the purple tier may open some businesses and activities with modifications, including all retail, shopping centers at maximum 25% capacity, and hair salons and barbershops indoors. As of Friday afternoon, San Bernardino County reported 46,892 confirmed coronavirus cases with 718 deaths. We will take a few days to sort out what the new tier system and updated criteria means for San Bernardino County, but we are still optimistic knowing that in recent weeks we have been on a consistent, positive trend to lowering our case and positivity rates, County Board of Supervisors Chairman Kurt Hagman said in a statement. What is exciting, however, is that our county's hair salons and barbers can now reopen indoors and bring in patrons who have been waiting patiently to visit their favorite stylist or barber. Newsom said hair salons and barbers could reopen indoors throughout the state beginning Monday, with modifications and COVID-19 related restrictions. The update applied to counties in all tiers, including purple. The governor also announced that indoor shopping centers and malls could also reopen Monday, albeit at 25% maximum capacity. Earlier this week, county officials said they had been making headway in getting off the old monitoring list, which had 6 criteria each county must meet to be removed. The county reported passing numbers for hospitalizations, ICU beds and ventilators, but officials are still working to increase testing and lower their case and positivity rates, which were 200 per 100,000 people and 10.6%, respectively, on Tuesday. Here is the criteria for the 4 tiers and the number of counties listed in each as of Friday. Purple, widespread, daily case rate of more than 7 per 100,000 people, greater than 8% positivity rate, many non-essential indoor businesses closed 38 counties. Red, substantial, daily case rate of 4 to 7 per 100,000 people, 5 to 8% positivity rate, some non-essential indoor businesses closed 9 counties. Orange, moderate, daily case rate of 1 to 3.9 per 100,000 people, 2 to 4.9% positivity rate, some indoor businesses open with modifications. 8 counties. Yellow, minimal, daily case rate of less than 1 per 100,000 people. Less than 2% positivity rate, most indoor businesses open with modifications. 3 counties. Daily press reporter Martin Estacio may be reached at 760-955-5358 or mestacio@bbdailypress.com. Follow him on Twitter at @bb_mestacio. Article 181 of 185. Decomposed body found in wrecked Jeep ID'd as missing Phelan man BBNG.com, yesterday. Phelan, Caliph. BBNG.com, a decomposed body found inside a wrecked Jeep Thursday has been identified as that of a missing Phelan man, 37-year-old Josiah Holloway, authorities said. Holloway was reported missing in mid-August after he was last heard from on August 8, 2020, in Llano, California, according to the flyer shared by friends on social media. At the time, San Bernardino County Sheriff's officials said Holloway did not have a permanent address but was known to stay with various friends in the high desert. He was said to be driving a 2020 black Jeep with license number 07753B2 at the time of his disappearance and was described as 6'1", 200 lbs, with brown short hair, a beard, and walked with a limp due to a bad right leg. Then, on August 27, 2020, at approximately 9 a.m., a hiker found an overturned 2020 Jeep Gladiator rental vehicle in a ravine, located in an open desert area near Wintergreen Road and Goss RD within the community of Phelan, with a decomposing body inside of the vehicle, according to California Highway Patrol Officer Mike Mumford. Although the vehicle was a match, positive identification was not immediately known because of the state of decomposition. The deep ravine made it difficult to see the vehicle from any portion of the surrounding desert. When officers arrived on scene, the solo male occupant, who was determined to be the driver, who was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the collision, was pronounced deceased, Officer Mumford told BBNG. Mumford said the crash is being investigated as a traffic collision and that foul play is not suspected. This was a slow-speed collision. The vehicle's right side tires entered the ravine, which caused the Jeep to overturn once, onto its roof. If the driver had been wearing his seatbelt, he could have walked away from this collision, said Mumford. To follow updates to this article and more, join our news group on Facebook with
Should have walked away unscathed if his stupid ass had a seatbelt on. I looked up that guy a couple days ago. And I think it was the same person, but I think it was a couple of years ago or whatever, a few years ago, whatever it was. Pretty sure that same guy got shot by somebody. Hey, is that Daryl? Yeah, I think that's Daryl. Oh, it's Daryl and Penny. Not the only truck in our entire fleet that's that color. Well, yeah, it's a couple. It's a male-female couple. The guy's name is Daryl. The woman's name is Penny. Looked like Penny was driving. Well, I know for sure that's their truck. I know from both the color and the number. Tendency to hang around with the wrong kind of people, and if he didn't have an actual set place to call home and just kind of drifted from hanging out, living with one friend to another, it sounds like he probably at least has the potential to have some kind of troubled lifestyle, say. Not always the case, because I do know another individual who kind of doesn't with, with friends, basically. I don't want to divulge who it is or whatever, so I don't think it's my place to talk about somebody else's personal business like that. Hi, Trooper. I see you hiding over there on the on-ramp. Another JCT. 3,700. Whoever that is has been with us for several years because they have quite a few diamonds on their truck. Winslow now. Right at about a quarter tank of fuel left. Usually it give me about 100 more miles out of that, somewhere in that ballpark. And it's just about just a hair over 100 miles to the New Mexico line. We're strongly encouraged to not get fuel at Speedy's there at the line in Lupton because people have been known to get bad quality fuel from them.
On Broadway on the west side, anybody got a copy?
Sounded like that guy's looking for westbound traffic to respond. Pretty much it. The one right there at the New Mexico-Arizona border. I see a JCT parked over there in Party Row over here in Flying J. Good amount of four-wheeler traffic coming up behind me now. Looks like it could be a reef even on the front of the trailer. Why do they need a refrigerator, an air conditioning system for covered car hauler? I don't know. Unless it's for when they're working inside the trailer with the, you know, I guess that could be a case. That or that's just a blister thing, whatever, to create more space to fit an extra car inside the trailer with.
Article 182 of 185. Decomposed body found in wrecked Jeep ID'd as missing Phelan man BBNG.com, yesterday.
I just heard that.
Phelan, Caliph. BBNG.com, a decomposed body found inside a wrecked Jeep Thursday has been identified as that of a missing Phelan man, 37-year-old Josiah Holloway, authorities said.
Okay, we just heard that one, so I'll be skip ahead.
Article 183 of 185. Bloomington man arrested after pursuit ends on I-15 in Victorville. BBNG.com, yesterday. Phelan, Caliph. BBNG.com. Bloomington felony 5 a.m. Police from the Victor Valley Station responded to the area of Phelan Road and Baldy Mesa Road regarding a suspicious vehicle. According to a sheriff's news release, the caller said they spoke to the driver of a vehicle and believed he was under the influence and possibly casing the neighborhood. A responding deputy located the vehicle leaving the area and initiated a traffic stop. However, the driver, later identified as Salvador Barraza, failed to yield. The suspect led deputies on a pursuit through South Phelan and east onto HWY 138 and eventually continued northbound on the I-15 freeway toward Hesperia. Officials said deputies made several attempts to use spike strips. Deputy Kyle Schuler utilized the pursuit intervention technique pit maneuver and successfully brought the vehicle pursuit to an end, officials said. Barraza was taken into custody without incident. Barraza was in possession of a loaded handgun which was stolen from a residence in Fontana in March of 2006. Salvador Barraza was arrested for felony evading, driving under the influence of alcohol and being an ex-felon in possession of a loaded stolen firearm. He was booked at the High Desert Detention Center. He is currently being held in lieu of $125,000 bail. The investigation is ongoing and anyone with information is asked to contact Deputy Jordan Arroyo at Victor Valley Sheriff's Station, 760-552-6800. Callers can remain anonymous and contact WEDF at 800-78-CRIME or Former officer in George Floyd killing asks judge to dismiss charges. CNN 5 hours ago. CNN, former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has asked a judge to dismiss murder charges against him in the death of George Floyd. In court papers Friday, Chauvin's attorney says there is sparked protests against systemic racism and police brutality around the world. Meanwhile, prosecutors said Friday that Floyd's killing was so cruel that they want stricter sentences than recommended by state guidelines if Chauvin and the 3 other officers involved are found guilty. Floyd died on May 25 after Chauvin knelt on Floyd's neck for almost 8 minutes. 3 other former officers are charged with aiding and abetting second-degree murder and aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter. All 4 officers were fired. Prosecutors filed a notice that they will be asking for an upward sentencing departure in the cases of Chauvin, J. Alexander Kung, Thomas Kiernan Lane and Tu Thao. Attorney General Keith Ellison did not define what the request will be, but he told the judge he has reason to go beyond the sentencing guidelines grid, used in Minnesota to factor in a convicted person's past criminal history. Mr. Floyd was treated with particular cruelty, prosecutors wrote. Despite Mr. Floyd's pleas that he could not breathe and was going to die, as well as the pleas of eyewitnesses to get off Mr. Floyd and help him, defendant and his co-defendants continued to restrain Mr. Floyd. The state also argues that the case has aggravated circumstances because Floyd was particularly vulnerable in handcuffs, and also claims that the officers abused their authority. The other 3 former officers earlier filed motions to dismiss. Judge Peter Cahill has not yet ruled on any of them. Chauvin also wants Hennepin County Attorney's Office disqualified, in part because of what Chauvin's attorney called an inappropriate pretrial publicity campaign, according to the filing. Cahill has denied a similar request by another former officer. CNN reached out to the office's attorneys for comment but has not heard back. Article 185 of 185. Ex-deputy's murder charge is first in California under new use of force law by Greg Moran 2H. Los Angeles Times follow. When San Diego County Dis. Patty. Summer Stephan announced last month that former Sheriff's Deputy Aaron Russell would face a murder charge in the fatal shooting of a man in May. It wasn't just the first time a law enforcement officer in the county had faced such a charge. The Russell...
You know, it kind of got me thinking on that, but ways to reform is a lot of those problems. So I'm under the impression that, I mean, at least with that case there, I'm not entirely convinced that Chauvin's knee had anything to do with George Floyd dying. I bring my jiu-jitsu background into this because Chauvin's knee was in the side and back of Floyd's neck. That has nothing to do with the person's ability to breathe. I was more concerned about the officer who was there with them and putting weight on top of Floyd's body than anything. It's a completely messed up, complicated situation there. I wouldn't want to be part of that in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter whose side you're on. Yeah, because it's a really a no-win situation there. Man died. The cops could have probably prevented it. Even if his knee had nothing to do with it, I think there's a possibility that they could have saved him. But I think they could have been overly distracted with the crowd there. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but when they're fearful for their safety and focus more on the crowd than on the person that's underneath them, they don't know. They might miss details like like Floyd being unresponsive. But anyway, what really got me thinking on that, because we have a really fucked up criminal justice system. And I got some ideas that spun off of that. I'm thinking, it'd be kind of interesting if we saw this. Because I'm thinking back to that other case where the guy who got chased by the cops there in Phelan and ended up going across Highway 138 to I-15 and ended up in Victorville. They found out he had a gun that was stolen from somebody 14 years ago. And it got me to thinking, alright, so this guy was found to be in possession of a gun that belonged to somebody else. Should make it instead of jailing the guy, make it where they have to wear an ankle monitor and the kind that can detect whether you're under the influence of anything, because they do have those. Say you have to wear one of those for a couple of years or something, I don't know, some length of time that, hey, if you even get caught with anything in your system, the shit's gonna really hit the fan. And then also make them pay restitution, or because the gun probably's been altered or something. So maybe make it where the person has to work and get a job if they don't already have one, and actually buy the person that the gun was stolen from a new gun. And on top of that, buy them a gun safe or some kind of securement device so stupid pieces of shit like him can't steal from them again. Or it's a hell of a lot harder to steal from them. So I'd say, hey, come on over, come steal my gun. And then I'll report your ass, and then you get to buy me a new gun, and you get to buy me a new safe for the gun. I think that would be pretty cool. Now I know they have the quote-unquote restitution that gets charged to people convicted of crimes already, but come on, really? Do you really think that the restitution actually goes entirely to the victims, or that the money goes to what was lost as a result of the cost of replacing what was lost? I don't think so. Yeah, my CB's on. I'm at the 273 mile marker. Okay, there's another one there with let's see, I think the George Floyd case there kind of got me wondering. Yeah, because we know there's a lot of distrust between cops and the black community. Come on, dude, let me over. Thank you. That was another truck that was trying to pass me, but I knew there's a Steven's on the right shoulder. Let me get one and move over for a bit first. Alright, and I have an idea on where I think that it'd be interesting to see how it would play out. At least try something out. Let me give this guy a thank you wave. Alright. Now I talked earlier about, there are a lot of times where people in the black community get unjustly harassed by the cops. I know it happens. Because if I have a friend who's black, who's in the army, this is a true story. A friend of mine I served with in the Air Force, he previous to that served in the Army as a helicopter crew chief. He was stationed at Los Alamitos Army Airfield, and he was in his freaking Army PT gear, jogging in the morning. While in the area, not far from basically the area where he lived when he was stationed there. And while he's sitting there jogging in his PT gear, some cops came up and started harassing him about what he was doing, and if he had ID and all that, and they had to treat him like he was up to up to no good. I was like, are you fucking serious? And it's like, and he's not like a total ghetto kind of guy. He grew up in Hawaii. He's an avid surfer. He's very comfortable around white people who are not racist. So it's not like he grew up in a sheltered ghetto kind of atmosphere, I guess, environment. And he doesn't look like the kind of guy you would expect that, to be a problem person. But they still came up and harassed him and gave him a hard time, thinking that he was doing something criminal, like running from some scene of a crime that he just committed a robbery or stole from somebody or who knows what else. And all he was doing was exercising. He's a guy I like to get insight into that kind of stuff from, because that guy is far from racist. But I can still get an honest black person's opinion from him and about what life really is like to be a black man. When you're not even a criminal and still getting harassed. He said Orange County sheriffs too, I think, were actually even worse. maybe a troubled past, who really do have problems with that crime, like stealing, robbing, or drugs or whatever, maybe make it a sentencing guideline. Hey, you have to ride along with the cops for, I don't know, 6 months or something. Live in their world, especially if you have some kind of if there's some kind of assaulting a cop or whatever. Make it a sentencing guideline and say, hey, instead of doing jail, you're gonna, every time this cop goes to work, you're gonna go to work, you're gonna go with them, and you're gonna ride along with them and see what they have to deal with from their perspective, and understand their world a little bit more. And just keep your mouth shut, your nose clean, and add that on to what I talked about earlier. Robbery or stealing, whatever. Okay, you're gonna work. Doesn't matter if it's from jail or from some kind of work release thing or actually a real job, but you're gonna buy the person whatever you stole from them. Yeah, and you're right. There are people out here from all walks of life who unfortunately are taught to hate. Now, whether they're conditioned by people and their families or whatever, or there are some others where maybe they had some kind of a traumatic experience involving a single individual or a group of individuals from a particular group, and then just that one traumatic experience causes them to think that everybody from that particular group is the same way, even though it's far from the truth. There's a whole lot wrong with human psychology. People like to work on their emotions instead of their brains. No wonder we have so many problems. Cody, you grew up in a racist family, but you're not really racist. What are you talking about? I don't think there's a person on this planet who's not at least a very small micro fraction racist. Just like I said earlier, it's a continuum. It's not just you're on one side or the other. I think it's a continuum, and you're somewhere along that scale from left to right. Some are a little bit left, some are a little bit right, some are moderately left, some are moderately right, some are very strongly left or very strongly right, but there's always at least a little bit of some, I think some distance from either extreme. Might still be a little bit far out. I'm at coming up on 282. I can see the TA up ahead. You can give me a call on it if you want, but I don't think I'm going to hear you yet. I'll turn my squelch up and see if I can get you. Where are you at? Are you already at Maverick? Equally, so okay, maybe love everybody, but I don't care who you are. If you give me respect, I give you respect back. And if I know you're a good person, then I treat you like a good person. I know there are plenty of good people out of every group, and I'm not gonna judge people just because of their skin tone or their sexual preference or you? I heard some response, but it's distant. It's not intelligible yet. KW JCT parked over there. Cody, got a copy? And I tend to have less range pointing ahead of me than I do going back, behind me. I've been able to talk to people as far as 10 miles away when they're behind me, but not very far, like maybe a mile or so behind, ahead of me. Cody, come in. I'm only 1 mile away now. He's still not picking me up. Look like the audio just took a shit. Cody, got a copy? See a truck over here on the shoulder. Got it? You're really faint still. You're starting to come in better now, but you're still faint. Yeah, I'm just about ready to get off the freeway here.
Jesus fuck, that's far away.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. My range is better behind me than it is ahead of me.
Well, I thought you would pick me up before I picked you up. I'm not at the field island yet, bro. Just sitting here all the time.
No problem. I'll be on the fuel island. That's an old Dairy Queen there. There's right over here to the right of me, there's a Dairy Queen. It's an old one.
Don't break down coming up here.
Now, why would I do that? I've had enough of breaking down.
Gonna give you shit because you've been in the shop over the past.
Not my fault, man. They can't do a slow half-ass job.
That's understandable. I'm still on my 30-minute break.
I can see your ugly ass over there now.
I got like 3 more minutes till my 30-minute break's up. So take your sweet ass time coming up here.
Well, the traffic light's gonna help.
switch loads?
I'm thinking no.
Why? Because I only got like 100 miles left.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other kind of load.
Yeah, right. You wish. I think you need a new antenna.
Nah, my antenna's fine. What's up? I can't hear you.
I'm waiting for your app.
Freaking kids, I swear.
I didn't think you were live streaming today.
Yeah. Yeah, I started when I finished my 30-minute break. I started.
You like how clean she is? She was way fucking dirty before.
Are you starting to turn into Daniel Finney?
Yeah. Dude, he makes this shit look good every single day.
Yeah, there's this guy named Daniel, who's who we know. He washes his truck like every other day. Seriously, this is and he's got other income sources, and basically driving for us is just fun money to him. So, and he spends a lot of what he makes with us. You know what? I'm gonna at least go out of drive mode, so I'm gonna sit here. So, all right. Yeah.
I gotta make sure I'm on duty for fueling.
And you're what? Locked in what?
I can't get fuel just yet because I'm still on my 30-minute break. I have like 2 minutes left.
Start driving away with you on the door. Ah, there's a rioter on my door.
That's how you know your chats are not working on the request mission API key.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I gotta restart the stream so I can get the chat to work. So whatever you guys are saying, I might see it on the YouTube chat, but the Streamlabs chat, nothing's gonna update. And the YouTube chat is harder to read and it only stays up for about 10 seconds. So.
I'll get you a fuel island. I'll just creep there.
Right. Okay, so you see there's some high flows over there?
Yeah.
Okay, I think the one where that truck is at right now, or somewhere in that ballpark, right over in that area where that one is at, one of those middle ones is the one that has no satellite pump. Just watch out.
Do I have to go in to pay, or can I pay at the pump?
You can pay at the pump.
Okay, I'll see you.
Alright, I'll get forward. Oh, hang on, I got a flatbedder going around me right now, so let me let him go first. And once he gets by me, I'll...
Move that ugly ass truck.
This mine has a real transmission in it.
It's not my fault. Goddamn.
And one of the step that guy's in the satellite pump's out of service. I don't know, he's the guy who didn't want to be in there.
What about the one directly to the left of this flatbed? Do you think this one's a good one? No, never mind. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, it's either 33 or 34 that has no satellite hose. don't take the phone out with me when I'm fueling, but I'm going to do it this time. Let me restart the stream. I mean, not restart the stream, but restart Streamlabs first, though.
Dude, these are all.
All kind of work. Behind the guy next to me in the pickup and travel trailer. Cody being a creeper. Let's see where he went. I think he moved over this way, didn't he? Yeah, he's gonna wait for me. Registration for the trailer in that. One's expired, so I gotta put a new one in. I already printed one up, so.
The fucking brown truck that flew past around the fucking fuel pumps, dude, fucking split me off. Don't worry about it, driver. They do that and they got 4 fingers pointing back at them. Come on.
I guess the other guy got mad, whatever. Yeah, when you're...
On that brown truck flew around here, went out.
The what?
That brown fucking long-nosed Freightliner that came around.
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking pissed him off over there. He flipped me off. I'm like, you want to fucking go, dude? And he's like, fuck you. I'm like, you fucking old piece of shit. And he's like, "Arr." Are you gonna come hang out for a minute?
Yeah, that's fine. Alright.
I'm like, you gotta fucking wait your turn, motherfucker. He's like, you're blocking the drive. I'm like,
Like hell you are.
I'm looking around. I'm like, I could have just pulled up a little.
I was just saying, maybe you should see what the fuck's going on here first. Pumps are all down. You need fuel for both sides, and none of the open pumps are usable. I would just tell the guy off. And maybe shut the fuck up and take a look at what's going on with the pumps first. There's a reason why you were there.
Fucking, that's all they do is talk shit. They don't.
Exactly.
They won't fucking come up.
Oh, just bitch, because things aren't going their way. So they act like little fucking spoiled little 2-year-old brats. That's how things go in trucking. Always somebody whining about something dumb. Where'd the guy go anyway?
Take left. Coming. Well, beat his ass.
Yeah, I would have told him off. They look, motherfucker, half these pumps are either down or don't have a satellite hose at all. It's like, shut the hell up. You don't know what's going on here. Maybe you ought to quit being a little fucking bitch, come off your period, and figure out what's going on first. Ask a simple question instead of getting all shoot first and shoot first and then look like an idiot for making dumb assumptions like that.
Fucking piece of
It's
shit.
it's a real big problem here with trucking. A lot of guys, a lot of people out here do it. Both men and females. Fucking start.
Yeah. Tractor def.
It's so quiet.
I know.
This truck's not running. The reefer unit's not running. I'm not used to that. Mine, I can hear my reefer unit running from right here. Not to mention, I left my truck running. Let me double check what's going on there. I saw the Maverick guy looking around over there too. So yeah, I look like he's just kind of gazing whatever. All right. He was just looking at the pumps that were up and down, whatever, and went back to his pumping duties.
Fucking idiots. I'm fucking 7 shit.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
Hey, maybe what the fuck's going on before you go run your fucking mouth.
I like to ask questions like, hey, what's going on here? Instead of,
Yeah. Honestly, exactly what he's saying. Because there have been times where, okay, not too many weeks back, I had a truck pass me up. I was westbound here on 40. I want to say I was in New Mexico. And alright. Yeah, anyway, I think I was westbound in New Mexico. And this, or maybe it was here in Arizona, but I want to say New Mexico. Another guy passed me up. Wait, no, it wasn't there. It was Oklahoma, actually. I-40 in Oklahoma, I think it was. He passes me up. Really?
yeah, because if I don't do that, it fucking falls.
He has to put his wallet in there to keep the lever from closing back up. Wow. Okay. Anyway, this guy passes me up, and he starts to, he's already in the middle of passing me up, and I'm sitting sitting at my governed speed when he's passing me. He starts to slow down. And of course I'm thinking, get the fuck away from me already. I think he's screwballing around or something. Or, you know, just distracted driving or something. But you know what? I didn't make assumptions. I thought maybe that was the cause, but I asked him, hey, I think it was a flatbedder or something, or whatever. No, it wasn't a flatbedder. Whatever his company name was, I got a hold of him on the radio because I thought he had a radio on him. I think it was like AST or I don't know, something like that. And I asked the guy, hey, what's going on there? Because I noticed that you were passing me while I was at my governed speed, and then all of a sudden you start slowing down. I just kind of wonder what's going on. And then it turns out he wasn't distracted. He was having an issue with his truck where he was losing some of his power or something, and the truck was forcing him to slow down for a little bit. And then he even said, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'll get back behind you." Like, oh, it's all good. I just wanted to make sure I knew what was going on with you, because you press on, man. I'll back off for you, let you over so the other cars can go by. He was not much slower than what I was doing by then. So I just, the only way you were starting to get it sorted out. And you get a lot more respect from people too. Don't make dumb assumptions. The guy could be distracted or could have a problem with his truck like that. And and it didn't make me look like a freaking idiot running my mouth, talking shit, and find out that the guy was having a problem.
Yeah, like that one fucking right there. I wasn't even, he could have went around me. He did go around me.
Yeah, he did. I watched him go around you.
And he's all fucking, what are you doing, motherfucker? Like, dude, if you got a fucking problem, want to come out and fucking handle it? I don't beat up an old man.
Yeah. Well, they don't call them curmudgeons for nothing.
It's like the second time I had to do that. And I hate it when my fucking gas, you know how CR England's fill thing is right here?
Yeah.
I hate it when it's back there, because then I have to bring this fucking hose that's clear the fuck over there all the way up here and hold it in there instead of backing my truck up.
Where's this different? So his DEF tank is right there. Same spot where basically where mine is at, and then his fuel tanks are in the same spot where mine are too. But what he's saying is like a lot of Freightliners, the fuel tank, the fuel ports are, the fuel filler caps are over here somewhere.
Yeah.
Kind of right over here by where the DEF thing. And then normally for the DEF on a Freightliner, normally you have to open this little flap right here, and then it's right there. So yeah, the newer Freightliner obviously is designed a little bit different there with that. Now he's trying to put cat piss on me. Oh, not cat piss, but damn, dude, say no to crack. Crack kills.
I know, my fucking shirt shrank when I put them in the fucking dryer.
You've been doing this till the butt crack of dawn.
They still, I put in a free form, hey, I'm going to be at the drop yard. They're like, we're making you sit on it.
Hey, Scotty D says hello.
Hey, Scott! D?
And then Tara says that guy's not worth it.
Yeah, that guy's definitely not worth it.
Drama.
It is. We have a lot of drama out here.
Yeah.
Too much. Like, why can't we just help each other instead of fucking each other?
Well, I'm sure people do that too.
Fucking old fucking man. I'm like, you motherfucking dumbass.
So all he did was come around over to here to leave.
Off. Yeah, because he saw all these pumps are down. And I think he got embarrassed because I was doing something when I was waiting for these trucks. He was getting pissed. Whatever.
Yeah.
He came in, went around, and then came around here and take a left and fucking took off. Whatever.
Okay, so for me, again, I see a truck sitting there when he could be in one of the fuel islands. I start thinking, why is the truck there, not in a fuel island? I start thinking, maybe I can figure out why instead of making options.
I'm on TV, right? Saying, hey, there's the fuel pumps are down, so that's why I'm here. The guy's like, you move your fucking ass out of the way. I'm like,
you know, when you made a comment right before you got out of the truck to meet up with me,
yeah,
I think he responded back. I didn't quite make out what he said, but Yeah, because you said some that dipshit whatever flipped you or yelled at you whatever. And after you got through talking, I heard someone else get on there, and I think it was him.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, probably the stupid curmudgeon running his dumb mouth. Someone responded. Yeah, see, Tara even said someone responded on the CB. I heard it.
Yeah, I was arguing with that old man.
Alright, our Giles says Cody wants to be a plumber when he's done.
It's because my shirt shrunk. This is a 2X large shirt. Unless I got fat. Would you like this?
If you got fat. It already was.
See, this is how I manage my fuel.
How do you get fat when you already are? I'm just saying.
I got fat when I started.
I'm not saying bad about being fat. I got a little bit of girly figure here going on,
But I walk around my truck.
What you have, you earn it. Okay. Don't say you have a thyroid problem.
It's a thyroid problem.
Don't say you have a thyroid problem, because I don't even have a thyroid. And I look like this.
It's just because the shirt shrunk, and I didn't have any more clean shirts.
It's so if you're fat, you probably earned it. Just live it and love it, you know.
Am I the same weight that when we were teaming up?
Similar, I'd say. I don't know. I don't remember what you weighed. I don't remember what you weighed when you were on my truck, but
I don't gain weight or I don't lose it. I think I stayed the same.
You know, I was surprised when I was unfortunately waiting for my truck to be fixed. I actually have a scale that works now at my house, and the first time I actually weighed myself in a while, and I was down to just a little bit under 220, and for a while there I was like at 225.
Yeah.
So I've actually lost a little bit of weight.
I've been doing a lot more walking around and shit.
Make sure I'm watching my truck. And
I've been doing a lot more walking around and shit, and fucking there's nothing I could do if I could lose weight. I'm not a lazy ass truck driver, that's for sure.
Hey, I'm at least gentle. He tries to do a real titty twist, and I bruise it or something. Dude, I'm not into the pain, man.
So I gotta ask him when I'm gonna live stream again. I'm not gonna live stream until Streamlabs is fixed. I'm sick of worrying about it.
It is frustrating. I sometimes now stream straight through YouTube. It's just sometimes when I have when I want to play music or something, or maybe a phone call or something, whenever YouTube goes out of focus, it losses the stream. So, not a huge fan of it. If I had something set up more like Scotty has,
Yeah.
where he has one phone specifically for streaming and another phone for doing his phone calls or music or whatever else, then
It would be awesome.
yeah, it would be great. Yeah.
But Scotty is Mr. Rich over there, so he gets all these kinds of technology.
Yeah, I'm sure you get a lot more revenue out of your YouTube than I get.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of a taste of this. I don't know if it's sure as hell nothing to live off of, I'll tell you that. But
Really?
but with the number of subscribers and views I have, I will say I've gotten more out of it than I thought it would.
So my DM yesterday said that carrier reefers are quieter than thermocades.
No, they aren't.
We were fighting over it before we took our picture. I'm like,
Alright, I just want to make sure there's nobody in my lane that I'm blocking, so. Nah, we're good.
no one's in my lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says that fucking carrier is a lot quieter. Fuck no, it's not. I'm like, you need to sleep behind a fucking truck. So,
Who told you that again?
Dell, my DM,
This guy has no trucking experience.
he says he heard them both. He thinks carrier is more quieter.
No.
No,
Not even a chance in hell.
I love thermocade
Okay,
instead.
let's see. Scotty, what is your opinion on that? Which is louder? Carrier or Thermo King reefer units? I'm curious about
Yeah,
that. Anybody else who has reefer experience might be watching. Let's hear your thoughts. We both agree that carrier units are louder.
I think carrier units are cheaper too than thermo.
probably why JCT has so many carrier units and maybe the cost of maintenance and all that too. They go by long-term costs. It's not just how much does it cost to procure, how much does it cost to maintain it over the lifespan of it too.
Scotty. Come on, Scotty.
Hey, I'm covering the microphone so we can't hear.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Repeat yourself. Scotty!
Maybe he went away.
I don't know. I like Thermo Kings. They're easier to maintain.
Yeah. I've gotten used to the interface of the carrier units, I guess, where I like them, but like you, I'd rather. There are a lot of times with the carrier units, I'm worried about parking next to dry van or flatbed drivers because I'm worried my fifth wheel's going to get pulled or something just because I'm parked next to them.
Oh, my fifth wheel was pulled. I'm glad I looked under. I backed into it and it snapped back in. I'm like, what the fuck?
Somebody pulled your fifth wheel?
Yeah, one night when I was at a TA. I think it was the last time I was at the TA over in, where was I? New Mexico. I went in for some food and shit, sat down, ate, came back out, my fifth wheel was pulled.
This was in Gallup or Moriarty or what?
I think it was Gallup.
Wonderful. Guess where I'm planning to end my shift today? The TA in Gallup.
They pulled my fucking fifth wheel. The first time after how many years I've been driving?
3 or so.
4 years.
Not 4 years, because I've only been driving 4.5 myself.
So about, I'm almost 4 years.
Probably 2.5, 3-ish, something like that. About 3-ish. Yeah, I've never had it happen to me, but I'm always like I'm on the lookout for it. Good luck getting me to drop a trailer.
I got told if I set my trailer brakes and pull forward a little bit, it's harder to pull that fifth wheel.
Yeah. So what he's talking about? Come underneath here. Okay, so see right now, let's say if he sets his trailer brakes and then releases the tractor and drives forward, what it does is have the effect of moving that bar, the latch, up against the kingpin and winds it up. So even if you're King Kong, you're not going to get that fifth wheel unlocked. And the only way to unlock it would be to have the trailer brake set, back the tractor into the trailer to release that bind, and then you can release the latch. All right, I'll get you. I'll get you a call when I get back to my truck and call it. Let me get an APU set up. I do. That's his APU he's messing with. He's got a Thermo King APU. Mine's a Carrier.
Yeah, I need to get my APU fixed. Hey, Mom! Hi, Mom! Hi! Yeah, I need to get my APU fixed, I think, because I keep putting fucking antifreeze in it.
Antifreeze? Oh, you mean you have to keep refilling it. That's common. I have to put antifreeze in mine also every so often. As long as I've had that thing, it's had a tendency.
See how I fucking nigga rigged that?
Whoa.
Nigga.
Dude.
See how I rigged that?
You can't talk like that, man. I'm screaming.
It's screwing up freaking fingernail polish right there. Alright. I guess we should go and do our jobs.
Yeah, so I want to get over there and get my tire replaced. Tuesday morning.
I'm going to be sitting for 2 days because my dumbass switched this load.
Yeah, if I end up staying under this load myself, I won't be able to run much because I can be there as quickly as tomorrow morning, or early tomorrow morning, and then, or not tomorrow morning, but the following morning. And then I only have 350 miles or so to drive from the first stop to the second, and it's like a day different in appointment time.
Well, I'm gonna send in a freeform telling them that I'm dropping this load in Tolleson and heading to my aunt's house.
All right, man.
All right.
Well, we'll see you later.
See ya, Giles. Thanks for meeting up with me.
You too.
I'll see you next month.
Alright, guys, so you guys know, not uncommon for me to run into Cody. Alright. Alright, let's get rid of the rumble. Oh my God, some habits die hard. I hear people use different terms for that kind of stuff. Redneck engineering, whatever. Alright. Jury rig, I don't know. I seen it out of it. Side this time.
What do you mean?
Dude, you ran over the curb.
So? I didn't hit the curb, I just ran over it. Oh my God, you just have to show me off, don't you?
Aren't you going westbound, or are you going to take the scenic route down to Mesa?
Eastbound.
Are you sure you want to go eastbound?
To Flagstaff.
Flagstaff's west of here. You just missed your turn right now.
Yep, I seen that. I'm gonna just flip at you right here.
You can just go straight down the road, too, and take Highway 77 and 377 over, work your way down Mesa.
Yeah, I got plenty of time anyways on this road, so I'll just go take it.
Nah, just keep going straight down the road. How heavy is your load anyway?
It's 78,000.
Ouch. Yeah, you're going to be a little slow in some spots over there.
Well, I'll probably just flip around over here and just go back. Go down that light and take a right. They'll take you back up to 40 west. 10-4, thank you, sir. Now it's the first one. You want to go down that second light.
Take 77, 377, 277, 260, and 87, and don't run into some elk while you're there.
I could take a right here at Porter Street. Take a right, except before you get to the railroad track, so it'll take you right back out to the 40. 10.
Awesome. Alright. He's going eastbound, like, you know, Flagstaff's west of here, right? Yeah, that is true. I'd say the same for Scotty too. He's entertainment just for
You're awesome.
either because of dumb luck or because he's intentionally doing what he's doing to abuse you. Can you imagine Scotty and Cody riding together? That'd be some interesting entertainment, I think. He was going eastbound. How, I don't know, because he knows he's going to Phoenix, but Honestly, he could just stay right there on that road he was on, not even turn at all. Get over there onto the other end of town, just a little bit outside of town, and take those state highways all the way down to Mesa. And then, and then over on the east end of the Phoenix area, and then just work his way across from there. I sometimes go that way on purpose, but yeah, the heavy load like his, I'm not so likely to want to do that. Alright, Nora, you can call me. Alright, never mind. You beat me to it. Hello. Good. I just got through getting fuel and meeting up with Cody, obviously. And I got, let's see, 75 miles of Arizona left, and then 16 of New Mexico before I'll be stopping. What's going on there? Working fine, driver.
10-4. I didn't know if I blew the fuse in this doggone radio or not. I've been talking on it pretty heavy. It got blue one. It's on Ranger radio. I didn't know if I blew the fuse. Oh yeah, she sounds real good. For $800, it better sound good.
All sounds good to me. At least you don't have some stupid over-the-top echo board on it.
Horseback out here. Damn it, I like to see a damn little Indian girl or woman. Let me rephrase that. That's
Racist guy or something. I don't know. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But then you hear that kind of comment, like, yeah, he's racist. I guess it's not a laughing matter, though. You don't come around these parts too often, do you? exit 303, Adamana Road. Hello. Good. The call dropped somehow. I don't know what happened. No, we were just talking, and all of a sudden I hung up for no apparent reason, and then I never heard it call back. Um, Condition and we'll just say psychology and stuff, behavior. And now the boys went back to Rialto. They brought over? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm not sure what I'll be doing yet. Hoping I can drop this in our drop yard in Fort Worth, but I don't know yet. I'll have to find out maybe tomorrow or something. One pallet and then run 350 miles, which is barely half a shift and then to deliver a load that's only that's an entire day after the first drop. Yeah, if I can just drop it and then just keep rolling, like go pick up a different load and keep rolling, that would be highly preferred over sitting idle for 24 hours waiting to get rid of one single pallet, and then, like I said, and then do half a shift from there to deliver the other one. But gotta have available. Okay. Yeah, I'll be stopping in Gallup today to get my tire replaced, and then tomorrow I'll probably run to, I haven't decided yet, somewhere somewhere in the general vicinity of Wichita Falls if I had to guess, but I could be wrong. No. Did a 30-minute break in Williams, and then ran from Williams to Holbrook, met up with Cody, got fuel, and now running the last part of the shift now. The first, the littles? Oh. Kelly mop? Okay. Oh, that's good. And then you're trying to do what, 4 miles every day? Weird. Well, yeah, but the weird part I don't get is there a mouse in your pocket, or is somebody else involved in that decision? Okay, okay. There was one little point where you did some little weird, like, skip step thing, a double step thing. I don't know what it was. There's just some little funny thing that you were doing. And the guys that we gave a ride over to the hotel, they saw it and Reven kind of looked and chuckled a little bit. Exactly, because what happens is when you work out, what is it, serotonin or there's a hormone that gets released when you're working out. I don't remember which one it is. Maybe someone on the stream can help me out. Is it serotonin? What hormone gets released when you're working out, and then it makes you feel better? And actually, when you say, I don't know if you've ever heard of getting a runner's high. Yeah, and like when I would, when I would do training for my PT test and stuff. Yeah, God, I hate running, but just for the sake of running. But yeah, I would go run whatever amount, during my breaks, my lunch breaks, whatever, and I would get that feeling when I get back to the shop. Um, yeah, it's hard to describe. I guess kind of a rush in a way. I don't know. Serotonin is a happy chemical. Okay, okay. Dopamine, I thought was the which one? I thought there was one that's like stress that when you're stressed out. I thought that was what dopamine was. And then Tara also says endorphins. And welcome, Rev. Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate your support on that. Yeah, just a quick aside here for the stream. Dopamine is what? Okay. Okay, so dopamine is typically what gets released when you're having sex and doing other pleasure center stuff like that. And you said serotonin is from like working out, the happy hormone. Okay, then what about endorphins? Because Tara mentioned endorphins, and that's there's something that that actually is a stress releasing hormone when from working out. The endorphins reduce pain, increase pleasure, and feel okay, resulting in a feeling of well-being. Yeah, exactly. Well, and believe this or not, but pro athletes, even like superstar caliber athletes, they have to fight through. I mean, I got a right shoulder traffic, and I'm trying to get around a slower. Come on over. See if this guy takes the bait. There's a truck on the right shoulder. I was gonna let this Tacoma pull in the U-Haul. It doesn't look like he's gonna move over though. Fucking idiot. Alright. Yeah, I can see what someone on the CB was saying about him though, 'cause the way those tires are bowing inward. Freaking dumbass, move out of the lane when you see someone on the right shoulder. There's a reason for it. It's a good safety reason, I promise. Alright. Anyway. Yeah, even like, okay, like Kobe Bryant, I remember before he died, he was talking about how, you know, kind of one of the things that makes him and others like athletic superstars, whatever, or pro sports superstars, because they put them they would force themselves to work out and stuff, even when they didn't feel like it. They're like maybe they're too tired or too exhausted physically, mentally, whatever. They would still force themselves to do it, and it's just because just a battle of wits. Hey, and them telling their body, "I'm going to win." You can encourage me, you can discourage me all you want from practicing, working out, whatever it is, and I gotta force myself, get up and keep doing it. Yeah, pushing yourself like that. Yeah, look what happened when we went up to Tuckwitz Peak. I don't blame you. It's a concern. It's been a concern of mine the last few years as well. Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. When it was, hmm Okay, real quick aside here, okay, so I can identify something for people watching the stream. So I just got passed by this Rawala, whatever trucking guy, and there was a Toyota 4Runner or whatever that thing is. It was right behind it. I don't know. Maybe people watching might have noticed how long it took the Ramallah driver to um, finally decide to come over after he'd already signaled that he was going to come over. I think the reason why he took so long was because that SUV was right behind him, and he was maybe a little paranoid that the SUV driver was going to go darting over to the right to pass him. That's another reason why you stay back, stay out of the way, make sure the truck can see you. Don't give the truck any reason to think that you might suddenly dart out. Because the one time the truck moves over and you dart out, you're going to be in his DOT bar, and you both are going to be on the right shoulder. Don't want to be. So 3912 Alpha. Okay, go for it. Some people call it DOT bar. Some people call it ICC bar. I usually call it ICC bar. Okay, so you know on the back of the trailer, there's that bar that sticks down from the back of it. That's the bar. Well, that bar was introduced. I forget what year it was. Was it in the 80s? I forget what year it was, but it was mandated to get put on all trucks, on all semi trailers, in order to help prevent basically passenger vehicles from going underneath the trailer in rear end collisions. Because whenever a passenger vehicle would rear end a trailer, without that DOT bar, it would just go right in all the way to where the trailer tires are at, and usually shear off the A pillar and even decapitate and just completely maim the people inside the car. Yeah, but even with the ICC bar installed, it won't stop people from going that far underneath, but at least minimizes it. Because if they hit it, if it's you can take a. All right, let's put it this way: if you only doing like a 10-mile-an-hour impact, let's say the trailer's not moving at all, and you run into the trailer at 10 miles an hour, without a DOT bar or ICC bar, you're still going to have your the A pillars of the vehicle probably sheared or at least damaged. Definitely damaged, possibly sheared. You're going to have a shattered windshield. It may not get to you, but it will do impact. Be, let's just say, what for hypotheticals, what it would take for for you to rear end a trailer and go so far under that it completely shears the A pillars and or caves them back and actually kills the occupants of the front seat. Okay, well, having the DOT bar or ICC bar, if it requires a 30 mile an hour impact, let's just say without it, then the ICC bar and you would bend in the ICC bar, but the ICC bar would hopefully do its job and stop you. But it doesn't always, because like I said, I've personally seen accidents. I was the first person on the scene when exactly this happened when I was in the Walmart fleet. It just gotten over the. What? Hour delay? What's this hour delay we're talking about? I didn't quite catch what he said. He's a little faint. I need to move over, but there's a SUV gaining on me, or a minivan. Too bad. So anyway, now Tom Reed calls them underrun bar. Now Tom, of course, is from the UK, and Terry also called it a Jane bar. Jane Manson. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah. Now this bar I'm talking about was result of an accident involving somebody named Jane Mansfield. Jayne. What? Something Haggerty's mom? Okay, so there was some actress from the Law and Order TV series, you're saying? I'm really confused the way you're describing this. Okay, somebody in Law and Order was in the car. Who was it? The one who died or the other one? Okay, which one's the daughter? The one who died? Okay, so Mariska Haggerty, whatever her name is, she was the daughter, and then her mom was was Jane Mansfield, and they were in the car together, and then mom is the one who died in the accident. Okay, understood. And then Mariska is the one that's in Law and Order, you said? Okay, yeah, because that name does sound familiar. Blonde bombshell. Okay, so Jane Mansfield was the Marilyn Monroe of her time. Okay. Yeah, the name sounds familiar. I don't recall too much though. Um, yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's what the point of that bar was to reduce the risk, not to eliminate, but to reduce the chances of passenger vehicle going underneath the trailer in a rear end collision. So anyway, so I was talking about, I was in the Walmart fleet. I remembered I had Mary, and I was training her. Do you remember her? Okay. We had just gotten over the over the top of the Cajon Pass. I was driving. I think she was in the back sleeping, and right there in between Oak Hill Road and Ranchero Road, there was a white Honda Civic in the dirt. Saw dust all, like I thought it was smoke or something, or like steam, whatever. Like, because I saw the hood looked like it was open, and I thought maybe they just had like their car was overheating or something. So the quick little in a split second details I noticed, I thought it was just an overheating vehicle, but I kept looking because it didn't, like it just seemed like it was more than just the hood area, like the radiator blowing off steam. It looked like something else. So, and then sure enough, I was right because I get a little closer. I can see the car's all damaged. The front of the windshield was, the front windshield was all destroyed. The car I thought looked like it had been in a rollover type accident or something. I couldn't quite make it out, and then there was a guy standing outside the car. Basically, because like I said, the hood was partially up, and I see this guy standing outside, and in front of the car. And when he sees me approaching, and I'm actually looking in his direction, he starts frantically waving at me to stop and help. So I pull over. God, I was at least probably a good quarter of a mile away by the time I finally came to a stop, though. And I started calling 911 and started, working my way over toward the car was at. And the guy comes up running at full speed up to me, and once I'm about halfway between, no, actually, I don't need that yet. About halfway between my truck and their car, he catches up to me and says, "You gotta help me! My brother is still in the car, and he's not, and he's unconscious." I'm like, oh shit! So that's not good. And I'm literally still on the phone with the dispatcher and letting them know what's going on, and I think there was an accident. So, I didn't know there was another vehicle involved at first. I just saw the Civic, but then later on hindsight, I do remember seeing a truck with his four ways on the right shoulder further up the road than me, like a good quarter to half mile north of me. I thought he was just on the right shoulder for whatever reason. I don't know, but and it turned out I found out later on that he actually was involved in it. Because what happened is these guys were flying up the Cajon Pass, I guess, and then decided, I think they tried to pass the truck on the right at the same time. It was a Curacao truck driver. Yeah, okay, so I'm repeating it that way for those of you guys who are watching the stream and hear it also. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the guy was driving too fast, probably at least 90 miles an hour, if not faster, and made the dumb decision of trying to pass the truck on the right when the truck decided to move over at the same time. Now, of course, the truck moves right, he's looking right. You come from the truck's left, and all of a sudden you're on his right side at the same time he's already in the middle of moving over. Well, guess what? That's you just done screwed yourself. That's not on the truck driver. It's I mean, yeah. Now that could still possibly be avoided by paying attention to both sets of mirrors and seeing what's going on in the bigger picture behind you before you make the lane change. And that's where I think that what this guy up here did earlier. I can't say I have any problem at all with the way he did his lane change. He was being extra cautious. And I get a lot of people, I need to say this because it's very common for people out here to be racist and think that all Indian drivers are drive like idiots. Well, that was an Indian driver. He was very cautious. He did not drive like an idiot. So, I mean, there are good drivers out here from any walk of life, and there are shitty drivers out here from every walk of life. Don't lump them all into one group. Doesn't work that way. But anyway, yeah, I finally get over to where the Civic is at. Yeah, and finally I was also done. I think I was still on the phone with the dispatcher because I wanted to give her info on like what the car's license plate number was and what kind of people were involved. I just saw it was a white guy and I don't know, probably late 20s or something. I don't know. I guess who I was talking to, and I want to get a description of the person in the driver's seat. I figured I was going to get to the car to an unconscious or maybe even dead person, and then actually because I'm still, I'm not running, I'm just walking. Yeah, the passenger, he basically, while I'm still on my way to their car, he goes running back to the car. And by the time I get over there, the driver is alert now. And he actually starts crawling out the car through what used to be the windshield. And and you can tell he had a headache, and then I saw he had like a cut on the back of his head. Not a massive one, but it was a cut. Don't know what he hit his head on, but and it was on the back, not the front. And actually, I think he had a couple of cuts on the back and side-ish kind of area of his head. What? Oh, there's another idiot right there in the Subaru Outback trying to pass this container truck on the right. Damn it, girl. All right. So so anyway, running into the back of this truck whose trailer did have an ICC bar on it, still did that much damage. And once CHP cleared me to go ahead and looked at his ICC bar, and yep, sure enough, the right side of his ICC bar was caved in, actually halfway from the back of the trailer to the tandems. Now in California, if your tandems are at legal length on a 50 center of the rear axle to the back of the trailer. I don't know if either, and it looked like to me like the corner of the ICC bar was, based on that, at least a good 4 feet in from where it originally was. So as soon as I saw that, it was pretty evident it was a pretty high impact collision. And then I remember when I was out there policing up my triangles, the Curacao driver, I saw him hanging out up right just ahead of my truck. And at first I didn't know he was the Curacao driver. I thought he was just maybe some guy who randomly showed up from Mariposa Road or something. And then, so when I come up and start policing up my triangles, he comes back to the back of my trailer and starts talking to me and telling me about how he was doing 60 miles an hour when that guy ran into the back of him. And it's like, damn, you were doing 60 and that happened. It's like, there's no, that's undeniable that the Honda driver was driving too fast. Yeah, and making a dangerously stupid decision on top of it, to cause that. And I told you about the fatal accident I got stuck behind in Little Rock, right? Okay, yeah, and sometimes to get people on the channel who've not heard it either. I've talked about it before, but it's always good to bring it up. You never know who's watching, who's not seen before or not heard this story before. So, all right, so I was OTR with Sierra England. So it was probably, like with that, a good 3.5, 4 years ago, whatever it was. And I'm westbound on I-40, not too far away from North Little Rock. Actually, pretty damn close to North Little Rock. And I got brought to a complete stop. And I saw an RTI truck and trailer on the right shoulder. And yeah, because it was only about, like, I don't know, about 1,000 feet ahead of me or so. And then, but I couldn't quite see what else was going on because the other large trucks in front of me, and and there were trucks in both lanes, including one right in front of me, so I had no visibility really of what's going on. Then, but when I was hearing all this, the CB chatter about, you guys are not going anywhere soon because it looks really bad. They said it was fatal and all that, so I'm like, great. So I parked it. I remember even getting out of my truck and looking, and I can actually see this Jeep Grand Cherokee over in the median, not far from the guardrail there, facing the no, can't remember if he was facing sideways or still facing westbound, but when I got there, they already had an ambulance show up and grabbed a female passenger and a male driver. Just had female and had to rush her code 3 to the hospital because she had major injuries. And the driver was dead on the spot. And so I'm sitting there, and you can actually see cops in the corner and everybody coming the opposite direction and come back up our side to where the accident scene was at. And I think what had happened there, based on I don't know, it might have, I don't know if the RTI truck was moving or if he was parked on the right shoulder, but I did see that the left side of his ICC bar was completely caved in. And so evidently the Grand Cherokee driver ran into the back of him. But yeah, it killed the Grand Cherokee driver instantly. And I said, I don't know whatever happened with the woman. I just know she left with major injuries. Whether she survived or later succumbed, I don't know. But that's another case. That thing's not going to stop. A Grand Cherokee ricocheted right off of the back of the trailer and straight over into the median. I got another JCT here. 4044 Alpha. 4044 Alpha. Miles away from the Mexico line. And as mentioned, I only have 16 miles of New Mexico I'm going to do today before I shut down. That way I can get that tire replaced. I would stop in Casablanca, but I don't. I don't know. We'll see how long it takes to get the tire replaced first. If I can get the tire replaced fairly quickly, I'm not against getting back on the road and continuing up to Casablanca. Yeah, and even if I show up later in the evening, it's I've almost never seen that parking lot completely full. There's usually always quite a few spots open, even when it looks mostly full. Yeah, and it's only 4:35 here right now, or at least in New Mexico. So I'll probably be in Gallup around 5-ish. So even if I take like an hour, be like 6 o'clock, and then be an hour and a half after that, about 7:30. Who's this? 30. Even sounds like might be a truck number belonging to somebody I might know. All right. These nice mesas here, Mexico and border. You said you got lesson planning you got to work on? All right. Just let you go so you can get on that. I know you put in a lot of hours on that kind of stuff. You know, like I was talking on Kate's post the other day, it's like stressful because let's build lesson plans for every day and then digitize it and all that kind of stuff. Whereas, maybe next school year when it's all digitized already, it's like half the work to do, and it's just then it could just be more of a case of reviewing. Oh, I'm going to talk about this and that, whatever, and probably be less stress. They always have to reinvent the wheel. Exactly, and that's why put on you teachers do all that extra work. I mean, that's something I have experience with myself with military. Any kind of a training program is under the lesson plan and make it simple. Yeah. Well, I mean, the same with us, where sometimes little things get changed about it, but it's not like you have to do a whole entire damn revision to the entire process, like every single year. That's just stupid. Well, I'll say it again. It's stupid. It's about as dumb. It's about as dumb as putting Common Core in and getting rid of rote learning. Oh, you see how? Okay. All right. I love you. One last exit in Arizona, then we'll be in New Mexico. Less than 2 miles away now from the New Mexico line. Yeah, I'm about leaving. Even if I take an if I work free a lot of times, but this is different. You go to these hike, up, like climbing these rocks and all that kind of stuff. Be a lot of fun. Alright, just crossed into New Mexico. Done about 550, put me a little more than 100 miles out, which sounds like it. Alright, got a way station goes through at the 11-mile mark. Jamestown, they have a tire shop there too, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I could possibly just finish up in Jamestown instead of Gallup. I don't know. I think when I get a little bit closer. Not sure what time the tire shop closes there. I don't think they're 24/7 like the TA and Gallup is. So maybe I should just stop in Gallup. Area here is closed as well. Monbelito Visitor Center. Now, Linda, you start driving. You start driving local now, right? I think I remember you saying that you finally got into a local, but you hadn't started it yet or something. So I wasn't really sure what the latest update was with all of that. Or are you still with Knight? This is a 55 zone, and why am I doing 50 and still gaining on people? Interesting. Was it always going to be a rental van driver doing this? Every time I get in a construction zone and someone's doing 20 miles an hour less than the speed limit, the construction zone limit, it's always a rental van, it seems. there any issues. See, there have been cases where people bypass a way station because their transponders told them they could, and the signs say they can, but they still get pulled over for bypassing because somebody in the way station screwed up and sent the wrong person, or maybe there was a glitch or something. So having a live stream and the dash cam both recording is a nice little protection here. Covers my ass. Say, hey, look, I got a bypass signal. Signal now. University of New Mexico. Applebee's, 6.5 miles ahead. Qualifies as one of those very annoying commercials that you can't forget because it's so damn annoying and memorable. And there are a lot of flowers on one of those grave sites there in that cemetery. Interesting.
Do it, baby.
What? Is that B&B? Yeah, that looks like a B&B truck. Bienvenido a Gallup. Ooh, wow, how is it this easy to get off this intersection, this off ramp? Holy shit! I've never had this easy a time getting off the freeway here. There's always cross traffic that you have to sit and wait for. I am shocked. Must be my lucky day. Now, I'm gonna scale my load real quick. I think before I go park, because I never did scale it. Although I'm sure it's fine, but just in case I swap loads or drop it, I want to make sure a ticket is available for. Take it. Wish it could be this easy every time. Nope, that's 597 on, not 5917. I knew I put the wrong trailer number in somewhere at one point. See. Alright, processing. Yep, 66 gross. 11,880, 32,860, 21,580, and 66,320 gross. Trucks here already. Or is it called people living in the area are on home time and using this truck stop as a parking spot? I don't normally do pull-throughs, but I might go ahead and do. I thought I saw one. Nope. No pull-throughs. Between Prime and Eco Shells, they're both. Yeah, that'll work. These guys are both reefer trucks. parked between other reefer drivers, so I don't have to worry about someone bitching about the noise from my reefer unit. I'm gonna get my reefer hours. I gotta do my breakdown thing for the tire change. That unit's got some hours on it. 15,451 actual engine operating hours, and then over 26,000 total switch on hours. The engine on hours is what I need to document on here. 14. Let's say 15. Tractor miles 631,267. 5971. Reefer hours is 15,451, I believe. APU hours should be like 12,660 or 61 or something like that. Yep, 12,660. I didn't run it very long last time I ran it, and it shut off on me, so figured it was in that area. Rear drive tire worn. TA Gallup, New Mexico. Okay. Oh. I set another macro 41, let them know I'm still running way ahead of schedule. 0901 at 0200. Yeah, probably should be that still. Same as the Fort Worth yard. Should I put OKC yard? I can, but I don't think it's not too strongly inclined to put something in there. That is about 3 seconds behind sound audio. Stupid YouTube issue. Oh boy. So you mean you see me talking and about 3 seconds later you actually hear it? Say 0330 or so. Okay. This is second. I got another transflow thing. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, wrestler, actor, investing genius. Don't go near it. COVID-19 lockdown leads to deadly snake boom in Melbourne. Let's skip that. Don't care about Dwayne Johnson being an investing genius. Man shot to death while driving on Southern California freeway.
You have 1 hour and 53 minutes remaining.
Forgot. Saturday evening, reported gunshots on northbound 405 freeway in the Seal Beach area. Officers found a man in his mid-20s dead at the wheel of a Hyundai Elantra that had come to rest against the center divider. Victim had suffered at least one gunshot wound. The driver was not the Hyundai. Shooter was believed to be driving a white Mercedes-Benz S550. There's not unusual for that to happen. That's why I say don't drive like an asshole and don't talk to people like an asshole. Because there's always a bigger asshole out there than you. And now I don't know what the reasoning for that particular incident was. I have heard of people getting shot for no apparent reason. Actually, someone from a car club I was in, he had, where was he at? He was somewhere in the LA area. The LA. In the fast lane, and there was a car with a bunch of, I guess a bunch of cholos, and ate up, and I think somebody, one or more of them started pointing guns at him as they were passing by him, and then they, I guess they changed their mind when they realized he's not the person that they were looking for. He just looked like he might have been the guy that they were looking for, and then when they realized he wasn't the one they were looking for, then they put their guns away and took off. Crazy shit goes on. Yeah, you never know when that guy, that person you're gonna piss off is unstable and armed. So that's what I always say, you know, a modicum of respect for other drivers out here is deserved and warranted, because if you don't show other drivers respect, how do you know you're not actually running into that situation? You might have somebody who's armed, and you never know if they're in just the wrong kind of mood where they decide, you know what, but you don't need to be alive anymore. So, just don't drive like a maniac, and at least have some courtesy for people out here. You never know. Like I said, it's totally worth it. I'm not against speeding and stuff, but at least be smart about it. Don't drive too fast around other people. Like me, when I speed, I would speed like when there's nobody around me. Fastest I ever drove my car, my STI that I had, 145 miles an hour. I was trying to get it all the way up to its electronic limit of 156. But, and this was on Thanksgiving Day, years back. And I remember I was gaining on the, even when I was still building up the speed, and that car didn't have any trouble getting the speed up. Even at that speed, it was still accelerating, but I was gaining on the traffic up ahead way too fast. And I'm not going to go zipping past these guys at literally like 80 miles an hour faster than what they're doing. So I backed it off, and I usually if I'm around other traffic, now mind you, Southern Cal traffic in that area is usually always doing at least 80, 90 miles an hour, 95 even. So somewhere 100-ish, or even under 100, or depending on what the traffic in particular was doing, I would back off to where not excessively faster than them. And I've also had other experiences with that where I'd be driving. I remember I was driving my car kind of fast in the far right lane there in Victorville, Hesperia, somewhere in that area. There was kind of an older guy in a pickup. That was a nice tire on this truck right here in front of me. I'll show you in a second. But there's a guy in a pickup in the middle lane, and I remember as I'm approaching, and I'm gaining on him at a pretty decent rate, but not super fast, but definitely faster. Not like just lollygag faster. It was like probably at least a good 15-20 mile an hour difference in our speed. All of a sudden he decides to move over just out of, for no obvious reason. There was not like he was trying to go around somebody, or maybe he realized he should have been in the right lane in the first place, but just happened to do it, just suddenly veer into my lane while I'm approaching very quickly. And I remember that, thankfully, I think I was paying attention to what was going on around me, so I knew I could move over, and I moved over right away. It takes me time to double check, because could be something going on 2 lanes over that I need to be aware of. Not just beside me, but back there behind me. That's a blind spot. So, crazy. That kind of stupidity happens, so I always say, I don't have a problem with speeding, just don't do it when you're around other traffic. And always do, if you're going to pass someone else, always do it on their left side. Alright, go off duty. I'm going to run in and check in, and I'll have to get the stream ended so I can go inside and let's see what this said. Macro 41 received. Keep the load moving forward till a drop or swap is found. Alright, that's what I planned on. Okay. Mom has infection in right leg first time, and now she has infection in her left. Oh, that's not good. She's not getting septic, I hope, James. Man. Hope they're able to get that under control. And cause it sounds like it might be septic. That could be a bad thing. I hope not. So maybe some good. You said surgery though. What are they amputating? What are they doing? Amputating, or I don't want to get too much into business, but I would imagine with infections in both legs that they'd be seriously concerned about it spreading to the core. So would they strong antibiotics, or if you're talking about surgery? Removing muscle or whatever in particular is infected, or even up to amputation to keep it from getting to the core. James Van Beaver trucking. Back spine and going to have screw and metal rod something. Oh my. Yeah, that sounds like septic shock or something. It's not, or at least potential for it. Alright, so this guy's trying to pull through, but I don't know, he's being very cautious because his tandems, well, no, he probably could get his tandems a little further out, but he's being real careful because his header board on the other side that you cannot see is especially a concern. Now, his tandems, he's no problem at all. He's going to clear this guy on my side, but the guy on the other side of him, they had to make sure the header board wasn't going to hit. So if you're a newer trucker and you're going into a pull-through spot, those are things you really got to pay close attention to. Give as much room as you can. And there are sometimes spots like these where there's not enough room across this lane to work with to do a real pull-through. So don't try to force pull-throughs into spots just because they look like they're pull-throughs. If this setup lane here is not wide, better off just setting up to back into the spot instead. Don't put your, it's actually safer to back into a spot in some places than try to pull through into it. I have a video that I did a while back, maneuvering in truck stops. Now, where I was at the Flying J in Kingman, Arizona. Yeah, at the end of that video, you could see the CRST driver trying to pull through into a spot across the lane from me while I'm inside the building. And it just wasn't going to work. His tandems were too far out in the middle of the lane. I don't think the lane was really wide enough anyway to have an easy time doing it. And he ended up giving up on it, ultimately. He tried twice, I think the first time he went around, he was looking for a spot and then didn't find one. I think there was one that was kind of open, but the truck on the other side of it was, behind it, was occupying it, so he didn't, or occupying the spot in front of him, whatever, so he ended up not pulling through. Then he circles back around while I'm in the building and decides he's gonna, at the last moment, try to pull through into there, because the other guy ended up leaving. But, like I said, his tandems were out in the middle of the lane instead of way over here toward my truck, and didn't work. He had to back out of it and go back around, and finally decided to go with the, I think, kind of a straight back parking spot in the same road that I was in, around the same time I was coming back to my truck. Anyway, here's something else I wanted to show you guys. This truck right here, literally right in front of me. I'm trying to zoom without getting my fingers in the way of the camera. He's got a nice, we got a truck getting ready to go in front of my path though here, so it's prime. Honky tonk man. Yeah, this guy's right rear tire is blown. I hope he knows that. Hopefully that's why he's there, maybe waiting to get in the shop to get it replaced. But alright, so anyway, yeah, I need to go get checked in so I get my own tire looked at, replaced, whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I may go or something like that mountain time. I'll probably have sun in my face a pretty good amount of that part, so just be warned to do with the possibly, and then we'll see you guys then, alright?